In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can create this look, an alcohol ink bird garden collage. If you'd like to know how it's done, then stick around. That's coming up right now. Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me for today's tutorial, another episode of Art with Jane Monteith. Today I'm going to be showing you this design right here, how to actually paint this using, of course, my favorite medium, which is alcohol ink on YUPO paper. And this is a little bit different from my normal everyday variety, which is more contemporary and abstract. But I thought I'd show you that you can still paint with alcohol ink using traditional brushes on YUPO paper. So what I'm going to show you today when I'm going to be painting these pieces, this is what I'll end up doing, and that is scanning it in. I have an Epson scanner that I take all my pieces, like my cutout alcohol ink pieces, and I will then create something within Photoshop. So here you can see one layout, and then I changed it. So it's something that you really should learn how to do, and that is digitizing your work. So that's for another tutorial, but for right now I'm going to show you the actual hands-on approach using alcohol ink. So let's get right to it. Okay, so I've got my YUPO paper out of my pad, which is my usual go-to paper. And again, I'll leave all of the links to all of the products that I use in today's video. So if you're looking to give them a try, or if you're actually looking to purchase the print on those pillows that I just showed you, then I'll leave the links to those marketplaces as well. That can be purchased in a fabric, on Spoonflower, or on pillows and chairs and all other kinds of good stuff on Roostery. So I'll leave those links as well. Okay, so you've got your YUPO paper, and I'm going to be using red for the birds today. So again, this is the JAQUARD line. This is all these colors you'll find in the 9-color Exciter pack. So this is the chili pepper red, and then I'm going to be using some green, obviously, to create the foliage, and a little bit of yellow here. And then I'm also going to be using some other type of ink, which I really like using over top of the alcohol ink. And this is the calligraphy ink by Speedball. You can also buy this stuff in a variety of colors. It also comes in sort of like a trial pack, so to speak. So I'll leave a link to that. They come in these amazing pigmented colors, really, really, really nice to use. And the gold metallic is really, really pretty also. But with these inks, you have to make sure you enclose and keep the lids on them very, very well, or tightly on them, I should say, because whatever the solution is that they mix with the pigment, if it's left a little bit open, then it'll just evaporate, and then you'll just have like a chunk of pigment and you can't use it. So just be aware of that. So if you do want to use the inks, and you leave them for a while and they do get a bit chunky, then when you open them up, just use a little toothpick and stir it up, and then you can break up the chunks if there's anything settled to the bottom, and then you're ready to go to use. So I'll be using this today. The other thing I should mention, somebody asked what I used for cleaning up, and I do use this Speedball pink soap. It's non-toxic, and I actually do love the smell. So even if you don't want to clean brushes and you just want a really nice soapy smell, I really like this one. So you can give that a go. It breaks up the acrylic and the oils and sort of conditions your brushes. So you can try that also. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Don't forget paper towel. You'll be happy that you had that, because you'll need to dab your paintbrushes on that. Okay, so let's just go ahead and start with some yellow here. So obviously I'm just going to start with the foliage and bring that together. Actually, that was a red paintbrush I just used. That's not good. Okay, here's a green. So I do have some green in this brush already, and now it's more of a murky green, but that's okay. Once you blend it well, it'll come together nicely. And the Rainforest green you don't need very much of this. So whenever you just need a few drops, then just put it in the tip of the lid and work with that there. Okay, I'm gonna need some blending solution here. You can get some really nice edges as well when the ink spreads out, and you can just paint right towards it. And I'm surprised more people don't use the ink as an actual, you know, painting technique, like traditional, because you can just move it around so nicely. Okay. I think I'm just going to let that one dry, and I'm going to start over here with another one. I'm just going to make a more of a smaller one here. And the ink here. And I do have some other ones that have dried a little bit more, so I will work with those next, because when you're doing an actual painting, you want to kind of take your time and let them dry in between each piece. So I'm just going to let those two dry a bit, and then I'll just work on the other ones. I'll just bring those right over. Okay, these ones have dried a little bit more than those, so I can go with on to the next step with this, which is basically, I'm going to just put cleanup solution on here to create stem-like appearances on there, and just put some alcohol on here. So you can see that it does work the same as the cleanup solution. But again, it is rather strong smelling, so you just got to be aware of that. And I'm just going to put some dots down there because I spilt it. And here I'm going to just do some squiggly parts here, I think. Okay, these are actually probably dry enough now, so I am going to try clean up here. I also have a fly that's flying around here and that's driving me crazy. Oh my goodness, it's one of those days. Wow. Okay. Okay, hopefully you can see that even with the light. So the cleanup solution is what really helps to define the lines, and it doesn't expand as much as, say, a blending solution. So just be aware of those two things. Obviously the blending solution gives you more time and blends everything together and gives you more of a translucent, but I use the cleanup solution not just for cleaning up, but for doing these types of things as well, creating it with in your actual artwork. Okay, so I'm just gonna let those dry for a few more minutes. I'll come back and then I will put the next layer on. Okay, so I've allowed these to dry a few more minutes, and I've actually gone ahead and taken the next step to add, you know, more elements to these little bushes or foliage, whatever you want to call them. So in this one, I've just started drawing some elements on there. So the product that I used here, or the line that I really, really love, is probably my favorite by far, these pens by Faber-Castell, and they come in an array of thicknesses. They're great. Like, I've tried a lot of pens. You know, I've tried Copic and Uni and like all different kinds, but I do find this one to be my favorite. It's India ink and archival, so it'll last you a long time, and yeah, they're just great to use. So I've just used the fine tip here, drawing on little lines or elements, whatever you want to do to your drawing, just around the base there. So I've done some lines there, and then over here I'm going to add some red. So I think I'm going to use the ink here. So the calligraphy ink that I talked about, which is a great ink to use. It's very, very highly pigmented, and you just get a really nice, vibrant finish. And I think I'll just put a few little dots up here. And again up here. Actually, maybe I will add some red in here too. Okay, now I'm going to use some metallic. Okay, so this is the calligraphy ink metallic from Speedball, and this is a really pretty iridescent color. It's more of a yellowy kind of gold, but again, if you buy the kit from Speedball, you can get that as a trial starter kit. It's a really pretty one, both this one and the silver. And then of course the metallic gold by JAQUARD. So if you want this one to expand, then of course you would use the JAQUARD over the actual calligraphy ink, because that won't spread. Okay, so I'm just finishing up a few others here. I think this is probably enough. I did a few extra, and I've started cutting a few out already, just so that you can see that. So again, this is the calligraphy ink, which is a nice red here. Okay, so I'll leave that, and then I was just putting on a few other little dots here from the cleanup solution. So I'm just putting some, actually I mentioned earlier that this was strong smelling and just, you know, work in a ventilated area. What I failed to mention was I actually ran out of cleanup solution. So I have actually been using 99% alcohol. So I know some of you use that. It does work the same, almost the same. But I do find the cleanup solution really is the best, especially for smell and safety. So in case you're wondering why I mentioned that earlier, that's the reason. I just ran out, so I've had to use the alcohol. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave that, and then I am going to cut out this one here, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and move on with the birds. Okay, so I just have some scrap YUPO here that I'm just gonna create a bird on, or a couple birds. I've actually gone ahead and started one already, and I'm gonna be using that in my collage. And then with my paintbrush, I'm just gonna do, actually I'm gonna do it this side, I think. I'm just going to do a little bird here. And then I'm gonna fill this in. Okay. Okay, so there's no cleanup solution, no blending fluid or anything like that while I'm painting the bird. It's just straightforward. And I've actually just taken the lid right off of here and just dipping my paintbrush right in it. So you can have, you know, pretty good control. And then if you want to add some blending solution after, you can. So I'm just going to section the bird here a little bit. Okay. And I'm gonna add some cleanup right there, just to sort of separate the body from the rest right here. And it doesn't matter if it goes over, you can fix that as you go. And it's better to start off smaller so you can expand if need be. Okay. There's the body, or the lower part of the body. And I think I'm gonna make the nose or the beak black on this one. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect because you're cutting it out anyway. So I'm gonna make the eyeball in there. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of the alcohol or cleanup solution and make a little dot so I can put the eyeball in there. It's gonna be a cute little bird. Now I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'm going to do some, I don't know, little feathers going this way, I think. I don't think it's quite dry enough yet, but we'll see. Not too bad. Okay. Now, if you want to add eyes, or in this case, I've added, you know, white on top. You can use the Sharpie white oil pens. Those are really good. Or you can use, as I mentioned, the calligraphy ink. It does come in white, but I'm actually out of white, so I can't use white. So I've been using this today instead. Both are fine, whatever works for you. But when you're adding a little bit or a detail over top, it's easier to use a pen or to use the calligraphy ink, not the alcohol ink, because obviously the alcohol ink is going to spread around a bit, and you don't want the detail over top to spread around. Okay, so I'm going to continue on here, and I'm going to speed up the video and then just get this finished, and then I'll get to the final part of putting the collage together. guys, I have finally finished my birds. So all of my elements are now finished for my garden bird collage theme. And these birds turned out so cute. They're super adorable. I love them. And now it's just a matter of arranging your elements on a surface, you know, however you'd like to see them. And I generally like to put all of my work onto a wood panel. So I have just adhered some Canson linen Canva paper, which is a great product. I've stuck that down with some Krylon Easy Tack, which is a repositionable adhesive, which is a great product to use. And basically, it's just a matter of arranging your items how you would like to see them. And on the screen here, I will show you the actual finished version of this design, which has now been created by me into a fabric. And also you can purchase this design on home decor items like pillows and tea towels and things like that. So if you're at all interested in purchasing this really cute, adorable design on such items, then I will leave the link down below. Well, that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up, a like, and share. And I will see you guys again real soon. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your time as always. And we will see you again next week. Bye.